Rankin Bass's whole library has been separated by various different companies, especially their Christmas specials. So the first half, from 1964 to 1973, they're owned by Universal Pictures, while the second half, from 1974 to 1987, until the company went out of business, they were all owned by Warner Brothers. And we kind of thought a definitive Rankin & Bass Christmas collection would be, like, it would just be like something that we could only dream of. Well, to our surprise, we actually got something like that. Basically, Universal and Warner Bros. Were able to partner up. I think it kind of makes sense, since they they pretty much own, SDS, Studio Distribution Service. This is a company that's a joint venture between Universal and Warner Brothers. So that's kind of like the only reason why we even got this set to begin with. But it is the complete Rankin & Bass Christmas collection on DVD. Now, this isn't actually just a DVD showcase. It is also a Blu-ray showcase as well, because I have them on both Blu-ray and DVD. And I'll go over... I probably won't go over like all of the discs on the DVD, since some of them are a bit like the same. But the Blu-ray ones are a bit more unique, so I'll go over the Blu-ray discs. But let's go over the DVD packaging first. So, yeah, we have a guide, and it kind of has like an introduction from Jerry Beck, a famous animation historian. Then we have like a little read-up on each of the Rankin & Bass specials. And yeah, and they have like a little sheet on like which specials on which disc. It's not in order, unlike the Blu-ray set. The Blu-ray set, they have them pretty much in order. These ones are a bit out of order, since they're mainly just reissues. Almost all of these discs are actually reissues of past releases. Like Rudolph, Santa Claus, and Frosty, they are from the 2018 deluxe editions. And then the Year Without Santa Claus, it's from a DVD set, I think also a deluxe edition. And then Frosty's Winter Wonderland, that's from a deluxe edition as well. They just happen to have included those shorts, those specials that you see, from those discs. The only new ones, I think, is disc 7 and disc 8. I think those are the only unique discs, and it's just like a white snowy background with just like the pictures of the specials, like from the, probably from like the covers. And yeah, so here's what the case looks like. It's pretty much identical. And you have like a list. So yeah, and most of these are reissues, so I'm not gonna put the discs in on the DVD version. So we got Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, Santa Claus is Coming to Town. Actually, no, maybe I'll go over the list on the Blu-ray. And so yeah, so a year later, so the original DVD set came out in 2022. A lot of people they liked it, but they were upset that there was no Blu-ray version. A year later, we did get a Blu-ray version, thankfully. One thing to note is that on the DVD, the artwork of Crystal is her like when she's not alive. But on the Blu-ray one, she is alive. Like, it's artwork of her that's alive. That's kind of interesting. Here's the booklet. It's much smaller to fit on the DVD. Introduction from Jerry Beck, I'm pretty sure it's exactly the same. The read-ups are probably exactly... I think everything is probably exactly the same. So, what's included in this set are Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, Cricket of the Hearth. That one's probably one of the worst in my opinion. Rudolph's probably one of my favorites. Little Drummer Boy, it's a pretty good one. Terrible release though. Frosty the Snowman, that's a good one, great release. Same with Santa Claus Coming to Town. Santa Claus is probably my favorite. Twins the Night Before Christmas, that one was pretty decent. The Year Without Santa Claus, that one I really like. The First Christmas, that one was okay. Frosty and Winter Wonderland, I kind of like that one too. Rudolph Shiny New Year, it's mediocre at best. Little Drummer Boy Book 2, I don't think I've even watched that one. Same with Nestor the Long-Eared Donkey. Honestly, I don't think I'm going to watch that one anytime soon because I've heard bad things about it. The Strangest Man in Town, I kind of tried to watch it, but I was just bored out of my mind. Rudolph and Frosty's Christmas in July, I remembered really liking that, like when I first saw it on, I think Amazon Prime, but I'll try to get around to rewatching it eventually. Jack Frost, I don't remember really liking Jack Frost all that much, but I know a lot of people do. Maybe someday I'll try to rewatch it again. And it's got Don Messick's voice. It's like the only Rankin and Bass Christmas special to feature Don Messick's voice. Pinocchio's Christmas, I don't really care for that one. The Leprechaun's Christmas Gold, I don't think I've even watched that one. And then we have the Life and Adventures of Santa Claus. That one I remembered really liking. It's not quite as good, doesn't quite have the same charm as Santa Claus Come to Town, but this one's not, that one's not too bad. And yeah, that's pretty much it. There is one Rankin and Bass special that is missing, which technically kind of counts since it was part of the partnership, but it kind of doesn't since it came out after the company went out of business. It was called Santa Baby. It was based on the Eartha Kitt song of the same name. And I don't think I've seen it. And I don't think either company owns it, so that's kind of why it's not on here. But yeah, and here's the case. Unfortunately, my copy, it has like a broken. The case on mine is kind of broken. Oh yeah, and there's also and the. God, what's the word? The pages, it's also broken too, so unfortunately, I'll definitely have to replace the case someday in the future. Maybe I'll get a 6-disc case and make like a custom Blu-ray R disc featuring like any specials that weren't part of this collection. But yeah, unlike the DVD version, the Blu-ray set has the episodes, or not episodes, has all the specials and movies in the proper chronological order. So disc 1 has Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, Cricket of the Hearth, and The Little Drummer Boy. Disc 2 has Frosty the Snowman and Santa Claus is Coming to Town, and that's kind of it for the Universal DVDs, just those two. And then the other ones, the Warner Bros. Ones, we have Twas the Night Before Christmas, The Year Without Santa Claus, The First Christmas, Frosty's Winter Wonderland, and Rudolph Shiny New Year. Disc 4 has The Little Drummer Boy, Book 2, Nestor the Long-Eared Donkey, The Stingiest Man in Town, and Rudolph and Frosty's Christmas in July. And then disc 5 we have Jack Frost, Pinocchio's Christmas, The Leprechaun's Christmas Gold, and The Life and Adventures of Santa Claus. So yeah, I won't be putting in the discs on the DVD version since they're pretty much just reissues. But the discs on this one are technically new, so I will put the discs onto my portable Blu-ray player, and let's just see what they look like. Here's disc 1. So we go to Rudolph, and yeah, pretty much the menu, like, so when you go to Rudolph, the menu is pretty much exactly the same as from past Universal releases. It's that same artwork of the characters, same setting, same bonus features. And yeah, and in case if anyone's wondering, they use the 4K releases of Rudolph, Frosty, and Santa Claus. The Little Drummer Boy, unfortunately, has that garbage release that Universal has, where like certain scenes like fade in and out when they're not supposed to, and just like the video quality in general just looks really bad. And then the last one is Cricket of the Hearth. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Let's put in disc 2. Here is disc 2. It has both Frosty Snowman and Santa Claus is Coming to Town. So yeah, so like with Rudolph, they all use the 4K transfers of the specials. Oh yeah, and what's unique about Santa and Frosty is that they both have audio commentary. Mark Evanier, animation historian, he does the commentary for Frosty the Snowman. Here's some of the bonus content. Then I'll put in Santa Claus is Coming into Town. Yeah, for some strange reason, Santa Claus is Coming into Town does not have its original mono track for some reason. I mean, the 5.1 audio is fine in my opinion, but yeah, I just find it strange how that one doesn't include the mono, unlike Rudolph and Frosty. And then, yeah, so Greg Earbar, he does the commentary for Santa Claus Coming into Town, and they're both great commentaries. They're really fun to listen to. I don't know why Rudolph didn't come with commentaries, but I digress. Here is the third disc. So for the Warner Brothers releases, they pretty much went with a different direction in terms of like the style of like their menus. Yeah, so it has all the characters that they own, and it says Rankin Bass Holiday Favorites. So I'm guessing this might have been from some Blu-ray set that like never happened, and they just like reused that for the complete collection. So there's 'Twas the Night Before Christmas, The Year Without Santa Claus, The First Christmas, Frosty's Winter Wonderland, and Rudolph's Shiny New Year. For the audio, it's only in English. I think they're all in mono. I think they all have like their original mono, as far as I can remember. Subtitles, it's only in English. Then for special features, we have Frosty and the Story of the Snowman, Stop Motion 101, and We Are Santa's Elves. Alright, next disc. Alright, here's the next disc. It's the artwork and everything is exactly the same. So we have The Little Drummer Boy, Book 2, Nestor the Long-Eared Christmas Donkey, The Stingiest Man in Town, and Rudolph and Frosty's Christmas in July. English, and then, yeah, subtitles. There's no bonus features. Alright, here is the last disc. And we have Jack Frost, Pinocchio's Christmas, Leprechaun's Christmas Gold, and The Life and Adventures of Santa Claus. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So let's get on to the pros and cons and then the final verdict. Alright, pros and cons for the complete Rankin Bass Christmas collection, both DVD and Blu-ray. I'd say the overall pro would definitely be just the fact that I think it's such a huge novelty that we have all of the Rankin Bass Christmas specials in one set. Like something like this probably would have never happened like a few decades ago. But it's great to finally have all of the Rankin and Bass Christmas movies and specials onto like one set. The DVD release in particular, I remember when it got announced and when it got released, it was such a huge deal at the time that I remembered so many people were scalping this set for like $200 or something like crazy prices. I mean, you can easily get the DVD version at Walmart and other places. Though keep in mind, like, they're all using like existing discs, like the Universal DVDs. They're from the deluxe editions and the Warner releases. The Warner releases are also like reissues of like the past releases that they did. Except for this one and this one, they have original menus, but it's nothing spectacular. It's just a snowy background with just like the covers of the specials. And it also, both releases have a really nice booklet, which I really like. It was really, I mean, they didn't have to do that, but it was really fun that they did. The Blu-ray release is like the better option in my opinion. I'd say if you have time to choose them between which one, get the Blu-ray version. That one is just much better quality, much better audio and everything. Yeah, because what's great about the Blu-ray releases is that unlike the DVD release, which uses the deluxe editions of the Universal films, they use the newly released 4K transfers from those 4K sets. And so far, the 4K releases are probably the best releases of the Universal-owned films, like Rudolph, Frosty, Santa Claus is Coming, I'm into Town. Go watch my video. I made a video last year about like which home video releases of Rudolph is the best. And spoiler alert, I said that the 4K release is the best looking one so far. And you can get that on this set, which I think is really nice. As for the other ones, the Warner Bros. Ones, they're all also remastered. I'm not sure if they're like upscaled or if they're like genuine remasters. It's probably a little bit of both. But like regardless, I kind of found the video quality on all the Warner Bros. Specials to be great. And same with the audio, since all of the Warner Bros. Discs use the original mono. For the Universal ones, Rudolph, Frosty they have both a 5.1 track and a 2.0 mono track. And they're both like different in each way. With the Rudolph audio track, I'd say the 5.1 track is the best, like the better of the two, because it's not very, because it's not very lossy, and also not to mention that on the 2.0 mono, you can Yukon Cornelius's licking sounds from when he's licking his pickaxe, they're barely audible. Again, if you want to learn more about the audio tracks for Rudolph, you can go watch that Rudolph video I made. As for Frosty the Snowman, the 5.1 track I think came from some sort of early work print of the special, since some sound effects are missing and the timing on certain voice clips and sounds and music is slightly different. The original mono track basically just has the original audio from the from the special itself. So so I'd say the 2.0 mono is the one that you should listen to. And yeah, the only special that has terrible video quality is The Little Drummer Boy, and that's kind of mainly because apparently the original 35mm print of that special is lost, like it got misplaced somewhere. So the only copies that that the official companies have are these inferior 16mm prints that like don't look quite as good. And so yeah, that's kind of a shame. But the Universal release of The Little Drummer Boy is much worse, since for some reason they added like these weird like fade-ins and fade-outs for, I guess, presumably for certain commercial times, but like they were not part of the original special to begin with. So I don't know why they were there in the first place. So yeah, that's like the only really bad part of the collection is just The Little Drummer Boy. Besides that, it's the video quality on all the specials is pretty great. The special features, there are a few special features on the first 3 discs, and they're all pretty good for the most part. They're pretty decent. Sadly, on Rudolph's case, they didn't include the Fame and Fortune song, which is kind of a shame. Would have been a nice bonus. And also, I think Rudolph should have commentary. So, right, so for the cons, besides The Little Drummer Boy being pretty much like a nightmare, the only other con is that Santa Baby is missing in this collection. It was a special that came out in 2001, so this was after Rankin Bass Productions went defunct, but at the same time, like, they still used the Rankin and Bass branding, since it was like it was pretty much like the last thing that Arthur Rankin and Jules Bass worked on together. And the reason why it's not included is because neither company owns the rights to that particular special. So honestly, I'm okay with it not being on here. And so yeah, so if you want to have like the complete Rankin and Bass collection, this is literally like in the title. Go get the Blu-ray release of the complete Rankin and Bass Christmas collection if you want pretty much all of the Christmas specials that they made. This is a great collection. Besides The Little Drummer Boy, the rest have very spectacular video and audio quality, pretty good bonus features. And yeah, the only problem is that the Blu-ray release is much harder to find than the DVD. You could probably still get it on Amazon, though just be very careful with the case, because apparently, like, I got mine from Walmart, and it was the only good copy that they have, and it was broken, and like the case was broken. Again, I'm definitely gonna replace it someday. But yeah, but still, either way, I highly recommend getting the set if you want, Rankin and Bass's entire Christmas lineup. If you just want certain specials, you can look somewhere else. But besides that, this is like the best that we can get so far. So yeah, thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you are subscribed, make sure to ring the notification bell so you won't miss out on any videos that I produce. I'll see you real soon. Same Christmas time, same Christmas channel.